we are going to learn the Oracle course. Okay, so Oracle, in the sense, we usually will call it as a Oracle is a database. So what is the meaning of database? So that we are going to see. So what are the places we are using this database? So we are going to cover. Okay, so Oracle is a database. Yeah, it's a database. So the thing database is nothing but to store some information, anything for the future reference, that we can call it as a database. Okay, so now we are using the computer as a database. Okay, so the computer we are using like multiple databases. So Oracle is one of the database. Okay, Microsoft organization are having their own database like Microsoft SQL Server. So Oracle is having Oracle database. So IBM is having DB2 database. So in the market, there is a lot of different organization people has developed their own databases. So Oracle is not only the database. So we have a lot of databases. So topmost database, one of the topmost database is the Oracle. So now we are using this database. Earlier we are using like Excel. So prior of that we are using like leaves or papers. Okay. So prior of the papers, so the olden people like um, they are writing on the leaves. Okay. So these are all the database things for the in the olden days. See, the people are getting increase. The we need to store the data, more data. So we are change. We are like looking for the comfortable things. Okay, the thing like the leaves you cannot able to maintain the all the required information for the future reference. So they simplified our work, introducing the paper. So then that we are writing on the papers. So it maintaining the data maintenance is very expensive, and as well as the time taking process. So they simplified and introduced the computer. So again in this computer also we have a lot of options. So the database we have, first database like Microsoft Access, MS Access, MS Office. If you are installing in your machine, so you are seeing like MS Access is the database. See, MS Access is not is a database, but MS Access does not have storage place, because so MS Access is depending on the Excel sheet. Okay, see, all are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
See, now I'm like maintaining this Excel information, so I'm making as a table of this. See, now it look like as a table for you. Okay, so whatever the data you are storing in the Excel sheet, that way that you cannot able to interact with this. So you can search for some information. So he cannot able to, if you have, see now you are trying to look the value. So control F. See, you are able to go you are able to store the information that if you ask something to the Excel sheet, that cannot give the data back to you. Okay, meaning so you are not able to interact with Excel sheet. Okay, so for that reason, so Microsoft people has introduced the MS Access is the database. So you can store this Excel information into the database, and if you ask something in that particular data, so they are going to filter and providing the data back to you. Okay, see, you and me are interacting with because uh, there is some common language. So I'm giving some voice for you, and you are able to understand that, you are able to catch that. So the same way, if you are giving some command to the MS Access, and it get that required information and print that on the screen. Okay, this is what happening in the database. Okay, database is nothing but as a storage device. It can be stored like a information, like it's a small information or the large amount of information we are going to store for the future reference. Okay, so in the database we have like a relational database management system, and as well as the DBMS database management system, or DBMS relational database management system. MS Access is a DBMS, it's not the relational database MS. See, if you are thinking like is a database, if So every database it need to follow some rules and regulations as introduced Dr. EF card rules we have. So we have the 7 rules. Second, I will show you. So if you want to treat, like I said, this is the database. So you are confirming this is the database. So if you want to confirm that is a database, so that need to satisfy the rules, minimum 5 rules. Dr. EF card rules. Okay. So these are all the 7 rules we have. The 7 rules, out of the 7, minimum 5 rules need to be satisfied. Yeah, we have like more. So minimum 5 rules need to be satisfied in this out of. Okay, then only we can able to call it as a this is the database. Okay. So now MS Access is satisfying only three are kind. Okay. So RDBMS will satisfy more than the 5. Minimum 4 rules can is satisfying with every database. Okay. See, the RDBMS we are storing. So relational database management system. You can able to store large amount of data. You can able to store the logically related of information. So we won't store like unnecessary data. So in the market we have a lot of junk data also. We won't store that not required information anymore in the database. So if you are working for the hospital project, so you can able to store only the hospital. You will store only the required information like hospital, doctors, patients, pharmacy. So these kind of information. So there is some interlink for each component here. What are the things I explained? If you are storing the employee information, so we'll store like employee information, department information, salary information, organization information. So these are all the like linked components for that particular organization. Okay, if you are working for any other thing like students or schools, so schools in the sense affiliated by like which university. So what are the branch that related of that particular student? Okay, so address information. So there is some interlink information we are storing in the RDBMS, but in the Excel sheet you can able to store any information. It is not at all asking anything about. So you can able to store any information in the anywhere in the Excel sheet. Okay, you can load this data in the MS Access. You cannot able to put the rules on the Excel sheet. So now I'm putting some rule here like employee number need to start with alphabetical value. Okay, so if I am working with some X organization, okay, so some X. So my company name should be followed for every employee number. My company name should be start with my company letter of the first letter. So I'm mentioning like X123. So then X124. So I need to maintain this information in the like this. So you see, you are not able to put the rule on this Excel sheet. Okay. So if you are giving the any information, it is not restricting for you. Now I'm mentioning like Y123. So it is not restricting the information in this Excel sheet, but you can able to put the rules on the tables, and you can able to make the relation of see if you have raw data. So the raw data you can able to normalize it. So you can, if you have, if anyone knows like the credit card usage, okay. So if you are doing the swiping at some merchant, so it may be Central or Apollo, any place. So if you are doing like the merchant may have some treat like I said, the merchant is having ICICI Bank swiping mission. Okay, so the customers may use ICICI Bank cards, SBI cards, any other bank cards. So if you swipe that particular card, okay, so that merchant is having the merchant information, customer information, the merchant transaction information. See, these are all information we are generating in one row for every customer. For every transaction, we are generating only one row of the data. So the same customer is did like 100 transaction in the same merchant. For every transaction, you are inserting the merchant information repeatedly, and the transaction of the particular customer also you are inserting the same information about the customer, in the sense the customer having like customer name, age, date of birth, okay, mobile number. So this information won't be changed, right? So but you are generating like the customer is did like 100 transaction on the same day, you are maintaining 100 times of the repeated information, right? So if you get the raw data like that, so you can separate that raw data into the multiple parts, and you can interlink of each other. Okay, so you can maintain the unique data in the two different tables and link that data by making of keys. Okay, so that we can call it as a normalization. Okay, I will explain everything actually. Okay, for now, um, like so if you want to learn the Oracle, see, we are discussing each. So whatever the thing I am saying here, it may be a alphabetic, so English or Telugu, Hindi. So if you know the English, so whatever the other person is saying something, so we can able to catch that thing and we can able to replay that, because the English is known language for us. if if you are like Telugu people, so like other person is talking in the French or something, like any other language other than the English, Telugu, Hindi. Okay, so in that case you cannot able to catch anything from that particular guy, because we don't have a common language between each other. So the same way, Varakil knows some of the language like SQL. If you want to work with Oracle, we need to learn here SQL. SQL stands for like structured query language. If you want to if you want to learn the Oracle, we need to learn the SQL. So Oracle contain the two things here. Oracle contain the two things, SQL and PLSQL. SQL and PLSQL. See, See, SQL and PLSQL. So SQL, structured query language, PLSQL is integrated with the SQL. See, the PLSQL will name itself is having SQL. What are the things you are performing in the SQL? So you are performing one by one task here. So all the tasks so will group in one place, that is as a PLSQL. So we are writing like each and every thing as a command in the Oracle. Okay. See, what are the things you are saying to the Oracle that we can say as in the form of command. Okay. See, if you want to learn the Oracle, we need to learn SQL and as well as the PLSQL. Structured query language. See, it's not like a particular topic here. So it's a language. If you want to work with Oracle, we need to learn these languages, SQL and as well as the PLSQL. Okay, so SQL is a basic language, PLSQL is the advanced language, we can say. Extension of the SQL is a procedural language we added to the SQL. Okay, so now if you want to learn the Oracle, we need to learn the SQL. See, SQL can able to take the input from you and giving the data back to you. Okay. See, whatever the input you are sending to the Oracle, so it is taking from you and sending that to the Oracle. And whatever the information you are sending to the Oracle, that I am taking back to you from the Oracle. So SQL is working like as a interface or broker. So it is working as a broker between you and Oracle, between you and Oracle. So it working as a broker, or we'll treat like we'll call it as a interface. SQL is a structured query language which is used to work as an interface between you and as the Oracle server. Okay. See, now if you want to learn this, we'll need to see the SQL. See, SQL contains 5 sub-languages. See, SQL content is 5 sub-languages. See, India is having the national language as a Hindi, but in India we have all other languages like Telugu, Tamil, right? Kannada, Odisha. So we have a lot of other languages. The same way, SQL is contain 5 sub-languages. If you want to learn like a, if you want to learn like a,
Shiva in display it is showing the 5 minutes left to the meeting. Can I extend the time?
no, it won't give any trouble. So it won't
Okay,
give
okay,
any
okay,
trouble. It won't disconnect. So
okay,
it can
Shiva, no
continue.
problem. Okay, okay.
Okay. So, first we need to learn these 5 languages. So we'll cover with data definition language for today, and we'll done with the 4 languages by tomorrow. Okay. See, data definition language. So DDL. So we'll see. I'm saying like if you learn these 5 topics, okay, so only this particular page, what are the document I shared with you all. So if you learn this particular concept, so I will say like 30% of the Oracle subject has learned for today itself. Okay, so that much important for this particular command. See, without this particular page, you cannot able to close your day in the while working with Oracle. Any one of the command you can use on the daily basis out of this. So out of this, you definitely use on the daily basis of this particular data query language select statement. Okay, I will explain. So the select command and other things may or may not, but you will use the select statement. If anyone is working on the production support, that people will use only this select statement. So they do not they won't have required privileges to do something on the database. So who are on the production things. Okay. So I will discuss that things later, but we'll see data DDL. So data definition language. Then we have DML, data manipulation language. Then we have TCL, transaction control language. Then we have data control language, DCL, data control language. Then we have DQL or DRL. So we can call it as a data query language or data retrieval language. So data retrieval language, retrieve in the sense open. So usually we'll use the open command, right? So can you open the data from this place? Okay, the same way, can you retrieve the data from the table? So if you are storing something in the Excel, this particular table, so you want to ask can you open the data from that particular table? Or can you retrieve the data? So usually in the Oracle, we'll use this word retrieve. So retrieve in the sense it's a open. Okay. So we have this 5 language. So now data definition language. So while discussing about the Oracle, so now I will say something about. See, I'm saying Oracle is so just like a empty space, whatever the empty space we have, that I am saying it is a Oracle is a empty space. So if you have like 100 feet of space for you, this you can treat like as a Oracle. Okay. See, now you, sir, before that, sorry. If you purchase new laptop, okay, so the laptop does not have, OS. So if you don't have installed, if you haven't installed the Microsoft any operating system in your machine, the computer you cannot able to use, right? See, if you are purchasing any new laptop, that laptop, if you want to use as a useful object for you, if you install the operating system on your machine, then only you can able to operate with that particular laptop. Otherwise, you cannot able to use that particular laptop, right? The same way, so treat like as a Oracle is a empty software. If you install that software in your personal system or this server, if you are working with the organization, they are using these servers. If you are working with as a personally, we are using the personal laptops. Okay, it may be a desktop or a laptop. See, whenever you are purchasing the software from the Oracle Corporation, okay, see, Oracle Corporation will give the empty software for you. Oracle is not the database actually. When like Oracle will becoming as a database, if you install that Oracle software in your machine, then it creates some default database at the runtime or at the installation time. At the installation time. See, Oracle is a empty software. See, but you cannot able to say this definition to the interviewer or anyone. Okay. So I'm saying whenever you are installing the Oracle in your machine, it creates some default database at the installation time. See, why it creates some default database for you. Okay. So if you are introducing any thing like, product, if you want to take it in the market, so what we will do, we'll give some free samples as a demo purpose, or if you give like as a clinical trial program, so you can say, see, not for sale. If you are seeing some shampoo or any product, so tablet or anything. So if you are seeing like not for sale something, so those components may be given as a trial base in the market. So why we'll give the trial? So they are using as a free one time. So if they are happy with our product, they will come back with us for taking the purchase, right? The same way, or we can give like we'll do the product launch in the different way. So I don't want to give as a free. Okay. So as a free you provided, still the customers is not coming for you. So in that case, we'll give like we'll you know what we can say. So we can hire some marketing people, and we will ask them to guide the people. So this is the product we are introducing. So this is the advantage of the product, and we are going to like give this much like product information. We are going to gain them to get it more information about the particular things. So you are giving some demos to the customers, right? So if you give the demo for them, like, or if you are like treat like I say, you introduce some aeroplane. So aeroplane, all the people cannot able to drive. So if you are giving some training to them, they are going to becoming like as a pilot for next few days, right? The same way, you are going to how to gain the particular product knowledge. So we are giving to arrange some demos. The same way, the same way. So if you are purchasing some Oracle software, so we need to get some knowledge on that particular Oracle, right? So they are creating some default database, that installation itself. So then you can able to create your own database other than the default database. If you know already working with Oracle database, the installation time you can able to skip that default database creation time. I will show that how to create the Oracle and how to download, where to download the software from the Google, and how to install that, and that we are going to cover. Actually, I have some inbuilt, sorry, already videos. I will share that video if it required, or I will explain how to download and how to install. Okay. So treat like I say, Oracle you purchase and you are installing in your machine. It creates some default database. Okay. So it creates some default database. So treat like I say, it creates ORCL is the default database name. So if you word the database it creates. So now it treat like I say, ORCL is the database name. And see, in the database, you cannot able to store information. If you want to store any information, that information you can able to store only in the table, only in the table. So you need to create other component like as a table. So you need to create the table in this way. So in this place only you can able to store the information. Okay. See, Oracle is a software and database is inbuilt in the Oracle. So and in the database you can able to store the information as a tabular format, as a table format, a tabular format. So table will contain the rows and columns. So if you want to store any information, we will store in the table, right? So database is a Oracle is a database object. Sorry, Oracle is a database. And if you want to store any information in the database, we'll use the tables. Is only one place we can able to store. We have other components as well, but you cannot able to store any information in any other components other than the table. So we have only one component, that is a table. Okay. So now if you want to, if you want to, so now it happened like this, right? Now I'm removing this all, right? Now I purchase this empty space from some person. So it's a like this is the empty space. So there is no use of this empty space. You cannot able to stay in this empty space, and open place you cannot able to stay, right? So when you can able to stay in this, if you make some at least some compound wall in this particular boundary wall, then you can able to say at least at the some of the corner, right? So now I'm making some now I'm making some compound wall or boundary wall or any kind. Okay. Now, so now I make as a some compound wall. Okay, some compound wall. So this we can call it as a default database has been created, or database has created, or it may be default or your own database. Now you created the some space. It becoming like a useful now. Until then, there is no use of that particular place, right? So now you created some empty boundary wall. So we can say compound wall. So this is becoming like a useful object for you. Okay. Now, still, this is not like comfort with to stay the people in that particular place. So when you if you create some house or something else, okay, hotel, house, hospital, school, anything. So they are using for the more comfort than open place, right? So now I taken as a empty space as a Oracle software, and I created compound wall as a default database. Inside the database, I'm creating some house that I'm calling as a table. That I'm calling as a okay. So table as a house. So usually in the database we can call it as a table, and in our language we can call it as a our home. We can call it as a it is a storage object for us. See, we created the house. So what we are doing, we are keeping our things, and we are staying also in this. We are staying also in this. That we can call it as a like a table. Our house will treat like as a table. So the house we are not building blindly here. So if you have 100 feet of space, and what we need to do in that particular 100 feet or 100 square yards, that we are going to define on your mind. I need to build 1 BHK, I need to build 2 BHK, or I need to build 1 RK room. Okay, that we are going to define, that you are going to define on your mind, and you are going to connect with marketing of civil engineers, and you are making as a and you are taking the municipal approval from the municipal authority, right? So this is what you are doing, that we are calling as a data definition language. So data definition language meaning, if you have some uh, idea, or if you have some any what we can say. So if you have some empty space that you are going to build some room or anything, right? So you are going to think on your mind and you are going to implement that in your paper. So that paper has designed and approved by the municipal authority. So that we are saying, like I said, data definition language. So if you want to make the table need to be designed. So what the information you are capturing from the employees or we are capturing from the patients. So you need to think about the business and you are going to design the table accordingly, right? See, the same way, if you want to define your database objects, okay, define our database objects. So after designing, after you are thinking, I need to build the 1 BHK. So you need to build your house. If you want to build your house, we need to create the command. So we need to use the creation. So you started the building and you did like some you founded some mistakes in your house construction. So then you need to correct it. So what you will do? You may do some alteration on your house. You may do some alteration on your house. So or so they did some mistakes. So you may completely collapse your house by destroying your house. So if you want to destroy the table, we'll use the drop command for that, right? So now we have the rename. So now we have like now you may have like multiple places. So you build all the places as a house or a hotel or anything. So all of a sudden you did you lost in some of the business or some of the thing. Okay, in such place what you will do? So you may sell some of the house or hotel or some of the place to any other guy. In such place, so they are not like collapsing your house or they're not rebuilding your house again on this particular place. So they are simply changing the ownership from your name to the other name, right? So for that, we are using the simply rename command. So if you want to create your house, we'll use the creation command as a create command. If you want to do any modification on your house, we'll use the alter command for that. If you want to collapse your house, we'll use the drop command for that. And if you want to change the house owner name with any other persons, if you sell that, we will change the ownership name one to the ownership name two. So we'll use the rename command for that. And truncate. See, truncate, if you want to learn this, so I will explain this once it's done with the ML commands. Okay. See now, if you want to learn the Oracle, we need to learn the SQL. Okay. So after installing like a Oracle in your machine, so you need to go to the command prompt and you can check like if you install the Oracle in your machine, you need to connect with SQL plus is the place where you need to work in the olden days, not now. So in the olden days, if you type like this, it has the username and password. If if your mission is having the Oracle in your mission, so it has this. So now it is asking the username. So I don't know the password of mine. So I'm connecting with admin user system and I entered. Okay. So this is the way you need to connect in your mission in the olden days, and we need to work in this place. Okay. See, now I said like I decided like I designed the table in this way: employee number and employee name, salary, department number. This is the chart, right? See, now this employee number is having alpha numerical values. Alpha numerical values. Salary may have only numerical values, right? So the department number may have one, two, three. This is also having only numerical values. So we have some category values, alphabetical values, number values, alphabetical values, or character values, right? So now we have alphabetical values, number, alphanumeric, right? So we have other values as well, like joining date. So you may have like joining date, some date values. So first, Jan 2022. So this is the date value. So we have a different category of values. Based on that category, we need to design our table. So if you want to store only the alphabetical values, only the number, only the mixed case values, so in such place, we need to design our table accordingly. What is the first column? What is the second column? So what the third column we need to keep? These all the values you need to maintain. You need to maintain. So in such place, I'm going to create some table. So if you want to create your house, I said we need to use the creation command as a create. Um, create command is help us to create any database object in the database. We can call it as a, if you are creating the table, so the table we are calling as a object. Table we are calling as a object. So create table name. So T underscore EMP. So temporary. So TMP. You can make it as a any name. So A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, anything. So the name should be, the naming convention need to follow as per the company standards. Okay. So create table name. See, I'm giving only story here. So tomorrow we are going to start with again with all the commands freshly. Okay. So create table name, and what things we need to cover. So the table name has been designed. Then employee number, employee number. So we have the character values and as well as the number values. See, in bus we have uh, reserved for the female and as well as the general seats, or may have like male seats. We can treat like as a male or female seats. See, in male seat, female can sit, but in female seat, the male cannot able to that does not have authority to sit the male people in the female seats. Even it is a empty. See, in some cities, not in your AP and Telangana. So some of the cities, even if it is empty, the female seats cannot occupy with the male candidates. The same way, I'm saying, if the so I'm going to say uh, how the male people can able to, the male seats can able to occupy with male and as well as the female. The same way, character data type can able to allow the character values and all as well as the number values. But female seat cannot able to sit. So meaning number data type, it allows only the numerical values, not with any other values. So it may be character or special values. Okay. So I'm going to help with that in the second class, not in this. Okay. So character data type. So you need to make the size. How many values I need to keep? So 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter, that you need to mention here. So I'm making as a 10. Okay. So then we have the name. So varchar 2 data, sorry. This is also I'm making as a char of 20. See, the few people name will have 4 letter, few people name is having 10. So maximum, if you see any application form, that will contain 32 characters of name. So mention like I say maximum 32 characters. So we can make it as a name of that. Then we have the salary. Then I'm making as a number of 10. See, now the table has been created. Now the table has been created. So now I created with my house with 3 components: employee number, name, salary. Employee number and salary. So whether the table has really created or not, we need to check that. So if you create the object has been created, So you need to verify that. Describe, describe TMP underscore EMP, TMP. So describe underscore, so describe space TMP underscore EMP. So you need to check like this. So now I said like if you have if you want to do any modifications, we'll use the alter command. If you want to destroy your object, we'll use simply drop command for that. See drop TMP underscore EMP. Now the table has been dropped. See, earning is the difficult, expensive. So what are the things you earned that you can able to spend any very easily without any restriction or without any difficulties. See now see, while creating of the time, you need to mention what is the columns we have, what is the data type of that, what is the size of that, what is the second column, what is the third column, what is the size of each columns that you mentioned. While destroying of that, you are not mentioning anything. Simply you are dropping the table, right? So we will cover these things by tomorrow, so we cannot able to continue from now. Okay. See, if you want to learn the Oracle, we need to learn the SQL and as well as the PL/SQL. Okay. So like it's a demo kind, so I'm not giving any like depth here. So tomorrow I will start from the again with the basic